Okay, so you know how everyone's always saying, start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But what if you don't want to be on camera?
Right.
Like, what if you're not comfortable with that whole, like, being the face of something thing?
Yeah, I get that.
But you have all these ideas, you have all this knowledge you want to share.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Right.
We're talking all about how to create a successful YouTube channel in 2025 without ever having to show your face.
Faceless YouTube.
Faceless YouTube. And, it's funny because even just a few years ago, this wouldn't have really been possible.
Right.
But now with all the AI tools and all the new software and stuff coming out, it's actually totally doable.
Definitely. And I think it's a really exciting opportunity for people who, might have amazing things to offer, but haven't felt comfortable with that whole on-camera persona thing.
Absolutely. So whether you are like a total introvert who just kind of shies away from the camera, or you like the idea of letting your content speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
This deep dive is for you because we're going to break down exactly how to do it.
Okay.
So we're pulling a lot of our insights today from the Benny Mathur Show, starting a Faceless YouTube channel in 2025. Have you heard of that?
I have. Yeah, Benny Mathur's been putting out some really great stuff about this whole Faceless YouTube trend.
He has, and he kind of lays out a really clear roadmap. So
Yeah.
we're gonna use that to kind of guide our conversation.
Right.
But I think one of the first things to really wrap our heads around is what kinds of content actually work well in this faceless format. Because you can't just take any old YouTube video and be like, all right, I'm just gonna do a voiceover now.
Exactly, and have to be a little more strategic about it.
Right.
Thinking about what's going to translate well visually without having that person on screen.
So what did Benny Mathur say about that? What are some of the good niches?
Yeah, so he talks about a few that are really interesting.
Okay.
And the first one is educational content.
Okay.
And this makes a lot of sense, right?
It does, yeah.
Because you can explain complex topics, you can offer tutorials, you can do how-to guides, all using screen recordings.
Perfect for software walkthroughs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. You can show people how to use a program,
right,
or walk them through a process online, and you don't need to be on camera for that.
You don't at all.
It's all about what's happening on the screen.
Right.
And Benny actually gives some examples like how to master AI art prompts.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right. Or even something super complex like the history of quantum computing.
Whoa.
These are topics that could seem really intimidating.
Yeah.
But if you break them down visually using screen recordings and graphics,
yeah,
suddenly they become much more accessible.
Right. And it's all about that visual element, right? Because if you think about a traditional educational video, you've got, the talking head kind of lecturing at you.
Right.
But here, the visuals become the star of the show.
Yeah, exactly. The visuals are doing the heavy lifting in terms of guiding the viewer's understanding.
I like that. Okay, so educational content makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What else is on Benny's list?
So another interesting one is compilation channels.
Okay.
I think we've all seen these, like the top 10 lists or, the funny animal videos.
Those fails and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Right.
So the idea here is you're curating content that already exists online.
You're basically like a content DJ.
Yeah, exactly, a content DJ.
You're mixing and you're mashing.
Yeah, and it's a really popular format because people love these kind of bite-sized, entertaining videos.
Definitely. But there's a big caveat here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is copyright.
Copyright, you have to be so careful.
Because you're using other people's content.
Exactly. And Benny really stresses this in his show.
Yeah.
He says you absolutely have to make sure you're following the rules, understanding fair use, attributing your sources properly.
Right.
Otherwise, you could run into some serious problems.
Not worth it.
Not worth it at all.
Okay, so educational content compilation channels. What else did you talk about?
Okay, so this one might seem a little unexpected.
Okay.
But Benny says the relaxation and meditation niche is actually perfect for faceless YouTube.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Well, think about it. People are constantly looking for ways to de-stress.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right, to relax. And this kind of content really lends itself to calming visuals.
Like what kind of visuals?
Like nature scenes, abstract patterns. You could even have like simple animations.
Right.
And then you pair that with soothing music or like guided meditations.
And it creates this whole like sensory experience.
Exactly. And you don't need to see the person creating it.
It's all about the feeling, the vibe.
Yeah, exactly. The focus is on the experience itself.
I like that. Okay, so that's a really interesting one. So we've got educationals, we've got compilations, we've got relaxation.
Okay, now how about this one? Financial and investment content.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems a bit kind of dry and technical for Faceless YouTube.
I know it might sound counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but Benny's point is that you can actually use animation and voiceover to break down these really complex topics.
Okay.
So imagine you're trying to explain something like investing in cryptocurrency or the future of the stock market.
Okay.
These are things that a lot of people find really confusing.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you use visuals,
Right.
like charts and graph, and you have really clear voiceover explaining everything.
It makes it way more understandable.
Exactly. You're taking something that might seem intimidating.
Yeah.
And you're making it digestible.
I can see that. Okay, so that's actually a really clever way to approach that kind of content.
Definitely.
All right, so what else?
Okay, now this one I think is a bit more obvious.
Okay.
Gaming channels.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course.
Yeah.
You don't need to see the person playing the game.
Exactly. Gameplay footage, strategy guides, reviews.
Yeah.
All of that can be done without ever showing your face.
And I think we've seen that, right? Like some of the biggest gaming YouTubers, they're all about the game.
It's all about the gameplay and the commentary.
Right, and their personality kind of comes through in their voice.
Exactly.
Okay, so gaming is a natural fit.
Now there's one more I want to mention.
Okay.
Which is ASMR.
ASMR.
Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't really get it.
So it's basically about creating sounds and visuals that trigger this kind of like tingling, relaxing sensation in some people.
So like what kind of sounds are you talking about?
Like whispering,
okay.
tapping.
Tacking on things.
Yeah, like on different surfaces.
Interesting.
Crinkling paper.
Okay.
Things like that.
And then what about the visuals?
So the visuals often involve close-up shots of textures.
Okay.
Or like slow, deliberate movements.
So it's like a very sensory-focused thing.
Exactly, and the creator's face isn't usually the focus at all.
Right. It's all about the sounds and the visuals creating that ASMR experience.
Yeah, and it's a very niche audience, but those who are into it are really into it.
So that's another really good option for Faceless YouTube.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay, so we've got a ton of great niches here.
We do.
Educational, compilations, relaxation, financial, gaming, ASMR.
And one more that Benny mentioned.
Oh, okay. What's that?
Storytelling.
Okay.
So think about like narrating true crime stories or historical events.
Okay.
Or even fictional tales.
And then pairing that with visuals.
Exactly. You could use images, video clips, animations.
So it's like creating a visual story.
Yeah. And a compelling voiceover can really bring those stories to life.
It's like an audiobook, but with visuals.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so we've got a good sense of the types of content that work well in this faceless format. But now let's talk about the how,
right.
Like what are the actual tools and techniques that people need to create these videos?
Yeah, so Benny talks about a few essentials.
Okay.
And the first one is voiceover.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's kind of the heart of Faceless YouTube.
Right, because you're not showing your face.
Exactly, so your voice becomes your identity.
So what does Benny say about that?
He says investing in a good microphone is absolutely crucial.
That makes sense.
Because your voice is going to be front and center.
Right, it's got to sound good.
Yeah, you want clear audio, a good tone, and engaging delivery.
And does he talk about using AI voices at all?
He does. He mentions that AI voice generators are becoming increasingly sophisticated.
Yeah, they really are.
But he also cautions against relying on them too heavily.
Why is that?
Because he thinks there's still something special about that human connection.
That authenticity.
Exactly.
And I think you're right. Like, AI voices can be really impressive.
Yeah.
But there's still this, like, warmth and personality that comes through in a real human voice.
Yeah, I think for a lot of content, that's still going to be really important.
Definitely. Okay, so good microphone strong voiceover skills.
Okay, next up is screen recording and editing.
All right, so what are Benny's recommendations there?
He mentions a few popular software options like OBS Studio, Camtasia, and Adobe Premiere Pro.
And those are all for, like, recording what's happening on your screen.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then editing the footage together.
Right. And he emphasizes that editing skills are really important.
Absolutely, because if your videos are poorly edited, if the transitions are clunky, or the audio's out of sync, it's going to be really distracting for viewers.
It's going to look unprofessional.
Yeah, exactly. So good editing is essential for creating a polished and engaging viewing experience.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, it really does.
All right, so we've got voiceover, we've got screen recording and editing.
Now let's talk about visuals.
Okay.
Because even though you're not showing your face,
you
still need to create engaging visuals.
So what's Denny's chain on that?
He talks about animation and graphics.
Okay.
And he says you don't need to be a professional animator to create compelling visuals.
That's good to know.
Yeah, there are lots of tools out there that make it really easy.
Like what kind of tools?
Well, for simple stuff, there's Canva,
Oh, yeah, Canva's great.
Yeah, it's very user-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get more advanced, there's Adobe After Effects,
Okay.
and there are even AI animation tools now
Oh, wow.
that can help you create really cool effects.
So even if you're not artistically inclined,
Mm-hmm.
you can still make some pretty cool visuals.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Benny really emphasizes that even simple animations or well-designed graphics can really elevate your videos.
It's all about adding that visual interest.
Exactly.
Okay, so animation and graphics are important.
And then there's stock footage and images.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, these are lifesavers for faceless creators.
Because you don't have to go out and film everything yourself.
Exactly. There are tons of websites where you can find high-quality stock footage and images.
Like, what are some of the ones Benny mentions?
He recommends Pencils and Unsplash for free options,
Okay.
and then Storyblocks for paid content.
And these can be used for, like, B-roll footage and stuff like that?
Exactly. You can use them to illustrate your points, add visual interest to your videos.
Yeah, it really makes a difference.
It does.
Okay, so we've got animation and graphics. We've got stock footage.
Mm-hmm.
What else is in Benny's toolbox?
Okay, now this one's kind of a biggie, AI tools.
AI tools.
Yeah, because as you know, AI is becoming increasingly integrated into content creation.
It's everywhere.
And Benny talks about how AI can be used for things like generating video ideas,
Oh, wow.
writing scripts,
Really?
and even creating those AI voices we talked about earlier.
So it's like AI can actually help you with the entire process.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it can really streamline things.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
It is. But Benny also stresses that it's important to use AI as a tool,
Right.
not as a crutch.
You don't want to lose that human element.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, it's your unique perspective,
Yeah.
your creativity, your insights that are going to make your channel stand out.
Right. It's like AI can help you with the technical stuff, but it's still up to you to bring the human touch.
Exactly.
Okay, so AI tools are definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, they're going to play a bigger and bigger role in content creation.
Okay, so we've talked about voiceover, screen recording, editing, animation, graphics, stock footage, AI tools.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else?
Yes, one last thing.
Okay.
And this is crucial SEO optimization.
SEO, search engine optimization.
Exactly. Because even if you have the most amazing content in the world,
Right.
people can't find it.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at all.
So what are some of Benny's tips for SEO?
Well, he says keyword research is essential.
Okay.
You need to understand what people are searching for on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and then create content that targets those keywords.
So you're basically trying to match what people are looking for.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you need to write compelling titles and descriptions.
So that's what people see when they're searching.
Yeah, you want to grab their attention.
Right.
Make them want to click on your video.
Oh,
And then finally, you need to use relevant tags.
tags.
Yeah, these are like little keywords that help YouTube understand what your video is about.
So it's all about making it easy for YouTube to categorize your content.
Exactly. And the more you optimize your videos for SEO,
Mm-hmm.
the more likely they are to show up in search results.
And the more people will see them.
Exactly.
Okay, so SEO is super important.
Absolutely crucial for getting your videos in front of the right audience.
All right, so we've covered the what in terms of content niches and the how in terms of tools and techniques.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the how to succeed.
Okay.
Like, what are Benny's key tips for actually making this whole faceless YouTube thing work?
All right. So he emphasizes a few really important things.
Okay.
And the first one is consistency.
Consistency?
Yeah, he says you need to be uploading new content regularly
That makes sense.
because it keeps people coming back for more.
And it shows YouTube that you're an active channel.
Exactly. It helps with the algorithm.
Right. So consistency is key.
Absolutely.
Okay. What else?
Quality.
Yeah.
He's really adamant about this.
I bet.
He says high quality audio and visuals are non-negotiable.
I mean, that's true for any kind of YouTube channel these days.
It is, but it's especially important for faceless channels
Why is that?
because you don't have the crutch of your personality or your on-screen presence.
Right. So the content itself has to be really good.
Exactly. You need to make sure your audio is clear, your visuals are engaging, and your editing is smooth.
And otherwise, people are just going to click away.
Yeah, they're going to go find something else to watch.
Okay, so consistency, quality, what else is on Benny's list?
Engagement.
Engagement.
Yeah, he talks about the importance of interacting with your audience.
So even though you're not showing your face, you can still build a community.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
By responding to comments,
Okay.
asking questions in your videos,
Right.
running polls and Q&As.
So basically treating your audience like real people.
Exactly, building relationships.
And that makes them feel more connected to your channel.
Yeah, it creates a sense of loyalty.
Okay, so engagement is important.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Yes, niche down.
Niche down.
Yeah, he says don't try to be everything to everyone.
That's good advice.
Yeah, focus on a specific topic
Okay.
and become an expert in that area.
And that makes it easier to to stand out.
Exactly, because there's so much content out there. If you try to cater to everyone,
you kind of get lost in the noise.
yeah, you become just another channel.
Right. Okay, so find your niche, become an authority.
And finally, stay updated.
Stay updated.
Yeah, the YouTube algorithm is constantly changing.
It is.
So you need to keep learning.
So it's like a constant process of adaptation.
Exactly. What works today might not work tomorrow.
Right.
So you got to stay on top of the latest trends.
And be willing to experiment.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've talked about the rise of faceless YouTube and the different content niches that work well in this format.
Yeah.
The essential tools and techniques, and Benny Mathur's key tips for success.
It's been a really fascinating deep dive.
It has. You know what's really striking to me is how much opportunity there is here.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it used to be that to be successful on YouTube, you had to be like this charismatic on-screen personality.
Right.
But now
it's about the content.
Yeah, the quality of your ideas, your expertise.
Your creativity.
And it's really democratizing content creation.
I think so, too, because it levels the playing field.
Yeah, anyone can do this.
Anyone with a good idea and a willingness to learn.
And that's what's so exciting. So for anyone listening out there who's maybe been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but has been hesitant because of the whole camera thing,
right?
I want you to really think about this.
Okay.
What knowledge do you have? What are you passionate about?
Yeah.
What could you share with the world? Because you don't need to show your face.
Right.
You can let your content speak for itself.
And with all the tools and resources we've talked about today, it's easier than ever to get started.
So what are you waiting for?
Yeah, go create something amazing.
And who knows? Maybe we'll be featuring you on the deep dive someday.
That's a great goal.
All right. That's it for today's episode.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
And until next time, keep diving deep.
Bye, everyone. Bye.